Hello there, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to the news. Live on Channel I, I'm Natasha Chandra.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome indeed. I'm Rajai Surya. We start off with a look at the headlines for tonight. President emphasizes the need of commitment to fulfill responsibilities in environmental conservation properly. Prime Minister says the moulding of youth with vocational skills in all fields will lead to progress of the country. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights lauds the progress achieved by Sri Lanka in the field of human rights. The report relating to the GSP Plus facility has been handed over to the European Union. Gampaha local government representatives pledged their commitment towards SLFP's victory. MP Mahinda Anand Alutgamage has been summoned before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into serious fraud and corruption. A heated debate erupts in the European Parliament on the exiting of Britain from the European Union. Now, for those in more in detail, we start off with a look at local news as President Maithripala Sirisena reiterates that government officials should commit themselves to fulfill their responsibilities properly in environmental conservation. He was speaking at the 17th Annual General Meeting of the Provincial Environment Officers Association in Battaramulla today. This annual general meeting was held at the Central Environmental Authority Auditorium in Battaramulla today. A memorandum containing proposals and demands of Provincial Environment Officers Association was handed over to the President on the occasion. Addressing the gathering, the President said that everyone from politicians onwards should bear the responsibility for the environmental destruction. The performance of police officers, including how many thieves, murderers and criminals had been caught by them when granting promotions, need to be considered. It is important to find out as to how many cases have been filed by officers per month against perpetrators. He called upon provincial environment officers to act in a responsible manner in handling environmental destruction issues. The President said that in some areas it is difficult to find as to whether the environment officer is working or not when considering the destruction caused to the environment. He said that he will appear personally on behalf of the official who fulfills his responsibility in a proper manner. No one should entertain unnecessary fear when implementing their responsibility properly, he said.
Now, the 16th Benedict Catholic Higher Education Institute certificate presentation ceremony was held in Colombo today under the patronage of the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Most Reverend Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith. This higher education institute opened last year. It conducts English language, international languages and information technology courses for around 1,700 students. Certificates were presented to students who completed training courses successfully. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the moulding of youth with vocational skills in all fields will lead to the progress of the country.
Reverend Fathers, Nicolin Ranil Carparella, W. Shindra Vignipan. Thank you very much for gracing the occasion. Right, Reverend Dr.
One of the biggest bottlenecks we are going to have in the future in employment creation, in job creation, in economic development are the skills. Because you need managerial skills, you need middle-level skills, you need language skills. It's not merely a question of having unskilled workers or semi-skilled staff. If you have to run hotels, if you have to run tourism, we need the skills. We need those language skills. We need chefs who will know how to prepare the food. We need the IT, whether it be manufacturing, whether it be services, in any sector. We need these skills to expand. And one of the biggest tasks both the government and the non-government sector has to do is how to provide it. Because you need a large number of skills. It's not like the school system. You tell everyone to go in and sit for the O-level. That's the exam for all. Here, there are so many different types of jobs. So many skills. For some, there will be thousands of accountants who are needed. For some, there will only be a few. So it's these institutions which have to look at the job market skills, what is required, and then you train people.
Now, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Said Rad Al Hussein, has concluded that overall the steps taken by the government of Sri Lanka to implement some of the key commitments made in the UN resolution last year are encouraging, but more rapid and sustained progress could have been made on some other issues, he added. The report of promoting reconciliation, accountability and human rights in Sri Lanka listed the restoration of the Constitutional Council, an independent human rights commission and the ratification of the Disappearances Convention as important achievements that will leave a legacy for the future. The report expressed hope that once established, the new Office of Missing Persons will provide at least a form of immediate redress for the families of the disappeared. Nonetheless, the establishment of full transitional justice mechanisms will be needed to provide a comprehensive response to the past human rights violations and ensure that they do not recur, the report stated.
In other local stories, parliamentarian Mahindanand Alutgamage has been summoned before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into serious fraud and corruption today. He appeared before the Commission to give a statement in a preliminary inquiry relating to the construction of a building in a land belonging to the Railway Department. He was with the members of the Commission for more than 4 hours. Colombo Fort Additional Magistrate Aruni Artikala today warned parliamentarian Rupavahini Arachi, advising her on how to behave in courts. She had to resort to this action when MP Arachi had tried to advise a lawyer during the hearing of the case. The additional magistrate informed that the MP should know how to behave in courts as she is also a lawyer. Magistrate Aruni Artikala said that she should advise a lawyer outside the court premises, and MP Arachi has filed the case relating to a 2 million rupee fraud committed against her. A corruption case filed against a former chairman of the Development Lotteries Board, Sarana Gunawardena, by the Bribery or Corruption Investigation Commission will be taken up for hearing at the Colombo Magistrates Court on the 23rd of August. He was accused of causing a massive loss to the government by paying in advance when purchasing vehicles for Development Lotteries Board, misusing his powers.
Now, Deputy Foreign Minister Dr. Harsha De Silva told a media conference in Colombo that the report relating to the obtaining of GSP Plus facility has been handed over to the European Union today. Deputy Foreign Minister Harsha De Silva noted that Sri Lanka has lost a sum of around 25 billion rupees per annum as a result of losing the GSP Plus facility. This was their interpretation. The EU Plus facility will be restored within 6 months after handing over this report. He expressed the belief that Sri Lanka will be able to regain the GSP Plus facility shortly. However, under the present situation, Sri Lanka will not be able to export products to the UK without tariffs. Therefore, the country will not be able to gain full advantage from the restoration of the GSP Plus facility.
එතකොට අපිට මේ ලැබෙන GSP Plus සහනෙන් ලැබෙන්න තිබිච්ච සම්පූර්ණ වාසිය ලැබෙන්නේ නැති වෙනවා.
The minister explained the present situation caused by Britain's exit from the European Union. He said that the economy in the United Kingdom is now at an indefinite state. Investors' confidence has come down to a certain extent. The British pound of sterling has dropped to a minimum level after 31 years. The present view is that the British economy will go down further in future. Deputy Foreign Minister Dr. Harsha De Silva noted that this situation will exert an impact on Sri Lanka's economy as well. Yet about 30% of Sri Lanka's exports go to Europe. Of this, 35% of exports go to the UK. Sri Lanka's second largest exporter is Great Britain. It is next to the United States. This situation exerts an impact on the Sri Lankan economy. The highest number of British tourists visit Sri Lanka. It is the highest number from Europe as well. The country's tourism will also be affected to a certain extent under the present situation. On the other hand, Sri Lanka will have to face some difficulty in obtaining commercial loans. This setup will lead to the further strengthening of the US dollar. This will increase our debt repayment in rupees. Therefore, Britain's exit from the European Union will exert an impact on Sri Lanka from various angles, he added. The minister disclosed that plans have been made to overcome this challenge following promotion of economic cooperation with Asia and other countries, along with encouraging exports.
Several local government representatives, including the Gampaha Deputy Mayor Ajit Basnaika, reiterated that they will extend their support continuously to make Sri Lanka Freedom Party victorious. Addressing a media conference in Gampaha today, they said that the document containing their pledge will be forwarded to the President shortly. Deputy Mayor Gampaha Ajit Basnaika said that the joint opposition will be building a national force. Basil Rajapaksa has been appointed as the pioneer in building this national force, and his office is located 500 meters away from this place, he said. In that office, all plans had been hatched to defeat former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Basil Rajapaksa has been given a contract to drag the SLFP towards a defeat in the upcoming local government election as well. He appealed to him not to involve be involved in the program, rather, to defeat the SLFP candidates contesting the local government election. There is no need to build new powers, and the president has the strength to lead the SLFP towards victory, and these people were trying to divide the SLFP voter base, he said. It would bring advantage to the UNP. He called upon Basil Rajapaksa to allow them to carry out the election campaign without interference. Thereafter, local government members of Gampa have signed the document consisting the pledge to make SLFP victorious. Deputy Mayor of Gampa Municipal Council Ajit Basnaik said that Basil Rajapaksa is not a die-hard member of the SLFP. He was with the UNP earlier. He is engaged in a conspiracy hatched by some other persons, including Vimal Weerawansa and Udega Mampila. We did not want powers, he said, and adding that the SLFP will win in the upcoming local government election under the leadership of President Maithripala Sirisena.
And now for a look around Asia in 1 minute.
Floods caused by severe storms have hit China's central Hubei province. Authorities across Hubei have declared a total of 7 red storm alerts beginning yesterday. Red is the most severe of the national storm alerts 4-tier system. Tough-talking Southern Mayor Rodrigo Duterte is to be sworn in as the next Philippines president on the 30th June. He is the first president from the southern Philippines where a rebellion has been fought since the late 1960s. Japanese stocks edged higher in volatile trade today as a pause in sterling's fall offered some respite, but gains were capped by weakness in automakers. China's first independently developed regional jet plane was to take off this morning from the southwest Chengdu to Shanghai in the east with 70 passengers aboard. The Comac ARJ-21 Jiangfeng is a twin-engined regional jet.
President Maithripala Sirisena says Muslims set an example to the people of the world over propagating high qualities during the Ramazan fasting period. The president was speaking at the Iftar festival at President's House in Colombo this evening. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, several ministers, MPs and members of the diplomatic corps participated in the Iftar festival. Addressing the gathering, the president said that religious philosophy is aimed at directing the people to lead disciplined lives, creating a better society. Muslims in Sri Lanka joined the brethren the world over in participating in the Ramazan fast, setting an example for everyone, he said.
ආගමික දර්ශනයක් තුළ සෑම විටම පෙන්눔 කරන්නේ යහපත් සමාජයක් ගොඩනගමින් යහපත් මිනිසුන් විදිහට ලෝකේ ජීවත් වීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය මඟ පෙන්වීම තමයි. ඒ තුළ අපි දන්නවා සෑම විටම ඉස්ලාම් බැතිමතුන් විදිහට තමුන්නාන්සලා අපේ රට තුළ වගේම මුළු ලෝකේම වෙසෙන ඉස්ලාමීන් ජනතාව මුස්ලිම් ජනතාව මේ උතුම් අවස්ථාව ඉෆ්තාර් උළෙල රාමසාන් උත්සවය ඉතාමත්ම උසස් ලෙස කටයුතු කරමින් තමන්ගේ උපවාස කාලය තුල මුළු ලෝකයේ සියලු දෙනාටම විශාල ආදර්ශයක් දෙනු ලබනවා. ඔබ සියලු දෙනාටම සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක්.
Now, health authorities predict that the spread of dengue could increase within the next 1.5-month period. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the people to clean their surroundings and destroy mosquito breeding places. The number of dengue patients since January up to now has increased to 20,000. The highest number of dengue patients was recorded from the Western Province. A program to clean the areas of Devila, Mount Lavinia and Ratmalana was held today. Members of the 3 armed forces, the police, Civil Defence Corps and voluntary organisations participated in the program. 85 dengue patients were reported from Ratmalana and Mount Lavinia during this month. Provincial health authorities said that the number of dengue patients has doubled compared to last month. 110 red notices were issued to the house premises in the area. Cases were filed against 9 housing units in the area. Anti-dengue operations will be conducted in these areas in the next 2 days as well.
9 Sri Lankans have been taken into custody by the Tamil Nadu police when they were on their way to migrate to Australia illegally. Indian authorities said that this group of Sri Lankans arrived in Tamil Nadu on tourist visa. A woman was amongst a group of Tamils who were taken into custody by the Tamil Nadu Police Q Division when they were in a rented house at Tiruchendur area. The Indian authorities said that they were planning to migrate to Australia illegally, and security divisions said that the racketeers have obtained a large sum of money from them, promising overseas jobs.
Now, the United States government recently concluded a 5-day workshop in Colombo for members of the Sri Lankan Ports Authority and Customs, Police, Navy and Coast Guard to provide training on eliminating the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Led by the U.S. military experts from the International Counter-Proliferation Program, the workshop covered themes such as border security, technology and threat assessment. The program builds upon strengthening U.S.-Sri Lankan partnership that includes enhanced cooperation in security in the Indian Ocean region. Through the RCP program, Defense Threat Reduction Agency of the U.S. Department of Defense has provided training and detection equipment to over 10,000 international participants. The agency currently provides education on countering weapons of mass destruction in more than 30 nations around the world.
The all-share price index closed at 6,304.40 points, dropped by 10.81, and the S&P SL20 index closed at 3,318.71 points, also dipping by 2.06 points at the end of trading in the Colombo Stock Exchange today. Turnover was over 600 million rupees.
Welcome back. Now, there have been bitter exchanges in the European Parliament during a debate on the UK's vote to leave the European Union. The Parliament was holding a special session ahead of a meeting between EU leader and UK Prime Minister David Cameron, the first such meeting since UK's vote today. Cameron is stepping down, saying it will be up to his successor to trigger the formal method by which the country leaves the EU and to conduct exit negotiations. The European Parliament voted in favour of a motion urging the UK to do so immediately by triggering Article 50. Opening the session in Parliament, European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said the British government should clarify its position. Juncker said the will of the British people must be respected, prompting applause from UK Independence Party leader Nigel Farage, a key campaigner between the Leave vote. He also accused Farage of lying about using the UK's EU contributions to fund the country's National Health Service, saying he had fabricated reality.
The creators of a glass-bottom bridge slung over a canyon in China invite a brave few visitors to test structural safety using sledgehammers before opening to the public. Chinese media has reported the opening will be in July this year. The creators tested the structure suspended 300 meters above the Jiangxi Grand Canyon in Zhangji National Park of central Henan province by hitting some of the glass panels with sledgehammers. On Saturday morning, around 20 volunteers and staff were taken to the 430-meter long bridge and harnessed to its sides as a precaution. Israeli Haim Dotan, who designed the Expo 2010 Shanghai's Israel Pavilion, is the chief architect behind the project, and China Construction Group, which is hired for the bridge's construction. An investor founded Jiangxi Grand Canyon Company Limited to carry out the project and has put a total of around $39 million into the bridge's construction, and the creators claim it is the largest of its kind in the world.
And now for some international news in brief. Triple bomb attacks claimed by the Islamic State group have killed at least 35 people and injured 24 in Yemen's southern eastern city of Mukalla. The militants struck at sunset as soldiers were preparing to break their day-long fast during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The attacks involved a suicide bomb, a car bomb and an improvised explosive device. At least 12 people were killed and 32 wounded when a suicide bomber wearing a vest packed with explosives attacked a mosque west of the capital Baghdad. The blast struck a Sunni mosque in Abu Ghraib, roughly halfway between Baghdad and the city of Fallujah, as worshippers gathered after midnight to pray. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack. Seventeen Colombian soldiers died when their Russian-made Mi-17 helicopter crashed in the central mountainous area of the Andean country. Reportedly, the accident in the Caldas province occurred on Sunday when the helicopter was traveling from the jungle province of Choco to Tolmaida military base. Search and rescue teams were deployed on foot in lush jungle to find the site of the crash, but no survivors were found. A new wildfire cropped up yesterday in Southern California just as firefighters gained ground on another devastating fire in the center of the state. The cause of the fire is unknown. Reportedly, about 250 structures reduced to rubble and 75 buildings were damaged. The blaze erupted Thursday afternoon and spread quickly through several communities south of the lake, driven by high winds. The British Queen arrives at Northern Ireland's Hillsborough Castle for a two-day visit. She is accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh. It's her first official engagement since Britain voted to leave the European Union. She met the First Minister Arlene Foster and Deputy First Minister Martin McGuinness. The Queen's last visit to Northern Ireland was in June 2014.
Hello. Are you well? Thank you very much. I'm still alive.
Dazzling images capturing Jupiter's weather phenomena and maps offer a unique insight into the internal life of the solar system's largest planet, showcasing previously unknown wave patterns, giant storms and whirlwinds raving on its surface ahead of NASA's mission arrival. To obtain the high-quality images and maps, the researchers at European Southern Observatory employed VISIR, a thermal imager which can operate at infrared. The process of image taking has spanned for 5 months from February to June.
Time now for a look at the world of sport, and we start off with a bit of rugby as St Thomas's College Mount Lavinia entered the semi-final round of the President's Trophy Knockout Rugby Tournament today following their victory against Zaira College Maradana in the fourth quarter-final match. The game was played at Royal College grounds in Colombo. The Thomians played attacking rugby from the inception of the game, and they were leading 19 points to 7 at Lemons. In the second half, they outplayed Zaira College Ruggerite, scoring 24 more points, and Zaira scored only 3 points in the second half. St Thomas's beat Zaira College by 43 points to 10, and they scored their 43 of 4 goals and 3 tries. Danuja Viraratna and Naveen Hinakan Kamge showed their rugby prowess in the quarter-final game. The second unofficial test between Sri Lanka under-19 and South Africa under-19 teams began at Velagadara Stadium in Kurunegala today. South Africa won the toss and decided to bat first, and they were bowled out for 244 runs in their first innings. Joshua Wan Tap scored with 81, and Damit Silva bowled best to Sri Lanka under-19, claiming 4 wickets of 56 runs. And tomorrow is the second day of the match. Sri Lanka Army A team and Sri Lanka Navy A were qualified to play in the finals of the Women's Interclub One-Day Cricket Tournament. In the first semi-final, Sri Lanka Army A beat Air Force by 5 wickets at Coles Cricket Grounds in Colombo. In the other semi-final, Sri Lanka Navy A beat Army B by 174 runs at Katunaika Free Trade Zone Stadium. The finals will be played tomorrow. Anand Manzil of Trinity College, Kandy, was adjudged the best player in the Central Province Inter-School Table Tennis Tournament. Prabodhi Asasi of Kegol Balika Vidyalaya was the best female table tennis player, and the tournament, organised for the 12th time in succession, was held at St Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia Indoor Stadium. Girls' semi-final matches in the DSI School Volleyball Tournament were played at the Davi Samara Vidyalaya Courts, Ampara Uanatisapura Vidyalaya and Hungama Vijayaba National College were qualified to play in the under-14 finale. Galigamu Madhyama Vidyalaya and Anamaduwa Maha Usvava Ratnapala Mahavidyalaya were the under-16 finalists in the tournament. Nathandiya Dhammisar Madhyama Vidyalaya and Galigamu Madhyama Vidyalaya were qualified to play in the under-18 finale.
Now in the international arena, it was not quite the triple bagel that Novak Djokovic was aiming for during the opening 41 minutes of his first round match, but the Serbian is unlikely to be too disappointed after he beat Britain's James Ward 6-0, 7-6-3, 6-4 at Wimbledon yesterday. The holder of all 4 Grand Slam titles appeared to be hurtling towards its 29th successive win at a major when he opened his Wimbledon defence by jumping out to a 6-0, 3-0 lead. But Ward, the son of a London black cab driver, did not want to make a quick getaway on his centre court debut and held both arms aloft after finally getting a game against his name on the scoreboard. The 177th ranked wildcard went on a roll as he won 3 games on the trot, but despite his fight back, he simply did not have enough weapons to stop Djokovic from setting up a second-round showdown with Frenchman Adrien Manarino, who defeated another Briton, Kyle Edmund, 6-2, 7-5 and 6-4.
3 sets allowed, 7-6, 7-6, 6-3.
And before we go, it's a quick look at the weather as the Met Department says that a few showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northern and northwestern provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Well, with that, we wind up Rupavahini News tonight. More stories tomorrow at the same time. Until then, good night.
Good night.